Ground Power P1 Ultra shooting impressions. Coming up, you'll see absolute first shots from myself and Miss Tia. We'll do full magazine +1. Our trademark What's for Dinner test to see what it eats. Take it over to the spinner for sights and trigger control. Some practical accuracy shots from 7 yards, and then give you the concluding thoughts from the two of us coming up next on GB Guns.
Cold shots.
We did swap to the more squarish backstrap. Then Tia's got a reduced size torso out there at about 30 yards.
I don't know where that second shot is going.
There it is.
It's going to be a great review.
That was staying pretty damn flat in your hand.
It is pretty comfy. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty comfy. And it begs to be shot.
I have reviewed a P1 Ultra before, but it's been a number of years. So curious to give this one a try. It's also why we brought it out, because Tia hadn't shot them. And in case you guys didn't know, when we do the cold shots, it's often the first time Tia handles the firearm. She refuses to touch them until we get out here. For me, it was the third shot that runs away, but that is really flat and smooth shooting, as we've come to know from Ground Powers. I'm of course going to love this and have loads of fun with it. That fiber optic front sight is impressively bright for as low light as it is out here.
It's almost too bright for me. I had to adjust.
Yeah, I might have to put on darker lenses.
Yeah, I had to adjust my expectations of what I was looking for when I searched for the front sight.
All right, well, next we'll do full mag +1, see how these Ground Power mags run when the gun is fully stuffed. And I didn't mention it earlier, but we're using Freedom Munitions 115 grain for our ammunition here. Did not take much force beyond normal to get a fully stuffed mag in. That's a nice thing. And still going to shoot at that same piece of steel out there, but I'm going to try to burn it down so we can see how the gun runs at speed and how the magazines run at speed. Not hitting much. I wonder if the sights are a little off.
It's bright. That was the problem I was having with it, is it's so bright. It doesn't allow enough contrast between what we're seeing and what we're looking for.
I mean, it's kind of like looking at a red dot.
Yeah.
That's turned up a little high.
Yeah.
But without my astigmatism turning it into a spider. Well, the gun ran pretty darn smooth as we expected there. No issues with the mag or with that Freedom Munitions. Next, we'll see what it eats. It's that time again. What's for dinner time to see what the gun eats. This is thanks to our patrons and Ammo Squared supporters. As we move down the line, you'll see that all of these rounds have different weights, case materials, projectile types and shapes, ogive locations. There's a lot of variety here. If you're curious about trying some of this stuff yourself, check out the article at gbgunsdepot.com. We've got links to it where we can find it. 3 rounds, because we're looking to see, does it feed from slide lock? Is there enough energy to cycle and feed another round of the same type? And then lastly, does it lock open on empty?
For circle number 1, we'll be using Liberty Ammunition's Civil Defense. This is a 50 grain plus P load. See, now my astigmatism is blowing it way out. It is interfering with the amount of light that I'm getting from the rear sights, if you will.
Okay.
For circle number 2, we have heavy shots. These are a frangible lead-free bullet that they say is of match grade accuracy. These are 100 grain.
They're really long bullet too.
Yeah. And they smell good.
They do.
For quantity, for circle number 3, we have the Critical Defense Light. These are a 100 grain bullet, FTX. Little
Really
pink nub.
short. They almost look like a 380 round.
Yeah, they do. Which is scary. Or could be if you're not checking what you're doing. But they shot very pleasantly. A lot of the smaller grain weights sometimes are not very pleasant.
Pretty good group too.
And for circle number 4, we'll be using Norma's monolithic hollow point. This is 108 grain. And those are quite punchy.
Yeah, they were a little thunderous on this end.
I felt those on both arms.
2 in the same hole though.
And for circle number 5, we have the Blazer ammunition. This is an aluminum cased bullet in 115 grain full metal jacket.
And we use aluminum steel case ammunition in these tests because, well, people buy them because they're cheaper. Cheaper because the material is cheaper. However, the friction coefficient between the cases and the magazine is higher. Same with inside the chamber. So sometimes you get feeding issues. Additionally, is that the wrong magazine?
No, I was testing the ambidextrous qualities of this gun.
Okay. Also, steel and aluminum expand and contract at a different rate than brass does, so sometimes that can lead to extraction issues in guns. Notice Tio's using her trigger finger to drop the slide on that ambidextrous slide release.
Grand Power does have, in my experience, the most functional ambidextrous features of any gun manufacturer that's offered them that I've tried. And so I thought I would try that throughout my time on What's for Dinner and see, and it was great.
Circle 6 is going to be Wolf's 115 grain steel cased ammunition. Not sure if this stuff's still imported, as it's out of Russia. Stouter recoil for sure.
Nice group, though.
Yeah, I think I was just
can get you
having,
up there to spit.
I was just being a lousy shooter earlier on the steel. It happens. Circle 7, Federal's Syntec Defense SJHP segmented jacketed hollow point. This thing breaks apart into 4 main chunks, 138 grains, and it's blue. Blue being the important thing. Yeah, that is nice.
It's really nice. Punchy, though.
It seemed to favor a little bit low. Circle 8 is Winchester Elite Defender Stop the Threat. 147 grain bonded jacketed hollow point. 147 grain. This stuff, it's Winchester Defender, and their silver tip tends to be on the less enjoyable to shoot part of the spectrum. Be a good test of Grand Power's rotating barrel action here.
quite a bit more push in your hand than some of the others.
Yeah, I was feeling it. Circle number 9, weighing in at 150 grains, is the Federal Syntech Action Pistol. It's the red tip snub nose stuff, meant for the gamers. Tends to be a soft shooter.
It looked like it might have been barely cycling that gun.
It ran and locked the slide. Our heavyweight of the day from PPU's subsonic line is the 158 grain. Big old long bullet. Circle number 10. Really soft shooting.
It looked like it.
That is our 6-inch Titan Great Outdoors spinner target, and we are back here 13 yards away. Tia's got 10 rounds of Freedom Munitions 115 grain. We use this target to judge sights and trigger control because it's a small target far away, and once you hit it, it starts moving. And then timing a precise shot becomes more important the more you hit it, because then it moves even faster. It's fun. So Tia, I think I only counted maybe 2 misses. All the hits there looked pretty good. And of course we're timed right. Sorry I didn't go over the top. I'm thinking maybe that Freedom Munitions ammo was a little bit soft, but that's not the point of this anyways. How were the sights and trigger for landing the shots?
The sight for me in my corrected vision, it is, because it is so bright, it scattered. It scattered, just like Graham said before, that it looks like a red dot that's been blown out. And so I was having to focus a little bit harder, and I had to be mindful of the eager trigger that Graham Power is known for in my experience. But as far as the gun's capabilities in the way that it's designed and being able to do that test, sure, absolutely. I just have a couple of things that I have to overcome, and one of them is learning how to shoot faster.
All right, I've got, I think, 8 rounds of that Freedom Munitions. Yeah, that is... I think that's soft ammo. Because it doesn't normally take, like, we've put it over the top with 3 and usually 4 hits. That was 5 to get it over the top. So it's weak ammo. Yeah, we do have a little bit shorter barrel, but anyways, I have kind of a home team or home field advantage, if you will, in knowing and understanding the Graham Power trigger. I've run Graham Powers at multiple training courses. My carry gun is a K100. So I, of course, was already set there. This combination of red fiber optic and blacked out rear is great for grabbing your attention. I don't know why it's appearing so bright to us. The lighting conditions, it's 30 degrees, foggy, and kind of hazy with a little bit of blue sky way up there. But for some reason,
is the rear sight super narrow? Like, I know I was just looking through it, but in comparison,
it's a very tight sight.
So I wonder if that's not what's causing that, because there's not enough light to break the two?
I think it's because it's a tight sight, which is meaning there's not a lot of daylight on either side of the front sight post. When you look to the rear, you're getting black and then bright red, and so it's a lot of contrast there, but it definitely makes it easy to find and easy to stay focused on it. Very similar to looking through a red dot. So for me, it worked out pretty well.
For our 5 shots from 7 yards, we'll be using the Colt Competition Ammunition National Match. This is 124 grain full metal jacket.
And it's loaded by Double Tap.
Oh, didn't.
Yeah, it's Colt branded, but loaded by Double Tap.
I will be aiming at the left surface.
And that is a 1-inch square. We're shooting from 7 yards, and that tends to end up being about the same size as a front sight post visually. Not bad. Had to throw one, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, just to keep myself humble.
Also using that Colt / Double Tap National Match 124 grain at the right circle square.
Let me get there. There we go.
Started losing it on that 5th shot. Got nervous.
I'm impressed. I always like a Grand Power, but they're always just a little bit too big for me, or the trigger's just a little bit too anxious. I did not experience that with this. It's a great size. It's got a great feel. It's got amazing, ambidextrous controls from both sides. It's got the safety, though I didn't use it. I appreciate that it's there because those are options that people look for and like to have, and having comfort in something that you're carrying is a benefit. It gives you more confidence should you need to deploy that tool. I mean, Grand Power just does it right in making shooting really fun and safe and for everyone, in making them so that left and right hand shooters use them safely, efficiently, and with confidence.
So I, of course, am quite familiar with the Grand Power lineup and have a lot of experience with these. Some would say that gives me potentially a bias for these. I think it's helped me to evaluate each model differently because I've spent so much time with so many different models. What you get with the P1 Ultra is a shorter slide and overall length than the K100, so that makes this more carry friendly than the K100 or the K100 X trim. Unlike the X trim, you're not getting the birthday bump because it's not quite a competition gun. The slide is not as lightened, however it is lighter because it's shorter. You do still get the larger magazine release for right-handed users, and you still get the fiber optic and the black dot rear versus like the traditional K100 that I carry is a 3-dot system. So it's sort of your performance carry gun, if you will. And I think it fills that role pretty nicely. Despite having a shorter barrel, it's still a smooth shooter because of that rotating barrel action that just makes everything so smooth. Like Tia, I appreciate the ambidextrous controls, and it's not, I like to think that it's more than just for right-handed or left-handed. As you saw, both of us used this side for slide release sometimes. I like to use my middle finger to hit the mag release over here versus my thumb, because on a non-extended magazine release, now this one is enlarged, but on a non-one, I sometimes have to break my grip or shift my hand to get to a magazine release, but when they're ambidextrous, you can just hit on that side. So it is a do-all build, if you will. I think the only thing that would potentially keep me from being hesitant about choosing this over the K100 for carry, even though I know this would be lighter, more comfortable, shorter, would be having a little bit less muzzle energy because it is a shorter barrel. However, in that test we recently did on carry ammo, we proved that with certain loads, barrel length isn't as important as we like to think it is. So overall, solid gun, as expected, performed flawless. Did we have any malfunctions?
No,
Yeah, no malfunctions.
no.
A total of 12 different types of ammunition. I had a rough start on the steel when I did that mag dump. I think that's the most misses I've ever done with the gun. But I'd say after shooting that group that the accuracy is still there. I think that was just me having a bad time.
Does that extended mag release, does it reverse so that if someone was left-handed, they could have that on the other side?
I do not know for certain. I don't see a reason why not. I just don't know what that procedure is like. And even if I did, I can't show it on YouTube anymore. But yeah, I don't see why not. It is the same frame as well as the K100 and the XCal and the K100 X Trim and all those, which means it takes the same magazines, which is excellent. 15 round mags. They load fairly well. They're not the easiest thing out there, but they're also not going to beat up your fingers on day 4 of a 1,000 round course. I say that with personal experience because I've done that. So yeah, the P1 Ultra is a strong one for consideration for carry. This would be a gun that you can carry and train with and not be afraid to train with it. Yeah, my hesitation here is just because it's kind of making me rethink my choice of the K100.
You can't carry them all.
Thanks for watching.